now going to do the permanent French in the quick dip system using a natural tip and white acrylic powder for the tip. So the first thing we need to do always after the client has washed her hands is to spray the nails with antibacterial spray and allow that to dry. Once the antibacterial spray has dried on the nail, we just need to prepare the nail for the tip and the artificial coating. So we're just going to make sure again that the free edge is nice and round to fit into the well of the tip, and we're just very lightly going to buff over the nail plate until it's nice and chalky white, making sure that you get right down the nail groove and around the cuticle edge. So sizing up our tip, filling up the well with either your building resin or some nail glue, sliding it down till it clicks and laying flat on the nail, holding that there for a couple of seconds until it bonds. Once the nail has bonded to the nail, we'll clip it back to the required length. Shape it, remembering that this model is going to have quite short nails, so take it back to the length that you would like and the shape. Now we're just going to file the tip so that it blends into the natural nail. This is exactly the same as what you did doing the natural look nails with the quick dip system. So just keep that file moving across the tip, being very careful not to be filing into the natural nail. Now you can see that that's starting to blend in quite nicely on that side. We've just got a little bit more on this side to do. Sure our sides are sitting nice and flat, and take that shine off the very free edge of the tip. So our nail is now prepared for the acrylic powder. Now the first thing we're going to do is our white free edge. So you're going to take your building resin and you're just going to wipe it across the nail, getting a nice even smile line to the width that your client requires. Take your white powder and dip that just to the edge of the nail and shake off any excess. Now we're going to take the resin and we're going to go over that again, just dabbing it on very carefully. Now we don't want to take that white powder off, and then we're going to dip it in once more just to make that a little bit more solid. Then we're going to seal that white powder with the resin, again just dabbing it on so that it doesn't get uneven. Now before we spray that to dry it, we're just going to run the resin brush across the top to make sure that that line is as crisp as possible, so that it doesn't bleed into the area that we want to remain clear. And then we're going to spray the activator to set the white powder. Now we're ready again. We're going to fill in the little well area here. We can either do that with the blush powder or the clear. I'm going to do exactly the same as I did on the thumbnail. I'm just going to dab the resin into that area, keeping it right away from the edges. And I'm going to dip into the blush powder first, shake off any excess, take your resin again, coat the whole nail, including the tip, and then we're going to dip that into the clear powder to finish it off. Now we just need our last coat of resin, and a light spray with the activator. So once the activator has dried the resin and there's no sticky residue, we're now ready just to finish the nail off. So exactly the same, starting at the cuticle end, just make sure that your product is nice and flat around the cuticle. Make sure the sides are nice and straight. Hold it up so that you can see the tip. Hold your file on an angle and just thin that tip down a little bit. And then just take the file over the nail to make sure there's no lumps or bumps or dips in the rest of the nail. Now we'll need to go under the free edge a little bit here because we've got a little bit of powder and resin trapped underneath. If we just run the file under there. Now I'm going to thin that down just a little bit more. The tip is still a little bit too thick. So I'm just going to take the file down on an angle and refine that tip just a little bit. Then we're going to check it from the side to make sure we've got it nice and flat at the cuticle end. We've got a nice fine tip and we've got that nice C curve happening. Then you'll take your block buffer and smooth the nail down with that, not forgetting to go right around the cuticle edge, down into the nail grooves at the side, and again under the free edge. And then we'll finish off with the chamois buffer to bring the nail up to a nice natural sheen. Now at this point you've got two choices. You can put your cuticle oil on and then when you paint the nails use a base coat or a top coat to give it a shine, or you can do another coat of resin and spray it with activator and leave that and don't buff it anymore and it will be shiny. Just pop some cuticle oil on. And there you have your permanent French with the quick dip system using a natural tip and white, blush and clear acrylic powder.